Foi. Ai, foi. Oi, tamo aqui. Deixa eu só compartilhar. Eu vou compartilhar aqui com vocês. Foi. Pronto. Deixa eu ajeitar aqui. Vai começar. Acho que minha voz tá boa, né? Ou tá muito baixa. Eu posso fazer um negocinho aqui. Assim vai ficar mais alta minha voz. Imagino eu que assim fique mais alta a minha voz. Assim fica mais alta. Não fica mais alta. Assim. Assim fica. Assim faz mais barulho, mas é pra tá de boa. Jeito aqui. Tá certo o microfone. Deixa eu só calibrar de novo. Tá calibrado. Dá pra começar agora. As lives já estão aqui. Aí né? O jogo tá com som. Tá de boa, então. Eu vou aumentar de novo no volume. Vou pegar de jogos avançados. Assim. Aí vai ficar mais alto minha voz. Assim. E começar a missão de novo. Porque eu ainda estou no modo. Deixa eu fazer isso aqui. Eu faço isso depois. Tô pensando se vale a pena ainda o dente, mas... Fazendo, né? Será que tem? Conseguiu pagar?
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot.
Tá se sentindo melhor agora?
Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor.
Tá tudo bem, a gente não tá numa corrida.
You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Aritza planning?
Esse era o nosso objetivo ao ver Snezhnaya.
Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her butt, we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that you were... It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful.
Nossa, esse lugar tá dentro mesmo da... Tá proporcional ao tamanho ou eles só recriaram assim pra parecer que tá... Imersão, né? É uma das ameaças que precisamos
To be
enfrentar.
honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the Paimon can't think of a few people who might be able to help us. Right. And when we left Nagcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us what... So, it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Tsaritsa's grand plan.
Talvez a gente descubra umas informações que não são confidenciais.
Fair point. Besides, that glue-off place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in her lane already.
Bem, já faz um tempo desse que a gente viu o Tartaglia pela última vez.
Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nagcry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha.
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather.
Ficarei muito agradecida se você puder dar uma olhada nela.
I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we?
A maior diferença provavelmente é o seu apetite.
More like you don't eat enough. The more talking you do, the more you need to eat.
Essa lógica aí não convence ninguém.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over, but as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Vamos ver como as coisas se desenrolam nos próximos dias.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
Não se preocupe com a gente. Deixa eu colocar aqui.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me.
Obrigada por tudo.
Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do. See you around.
All right. Time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Nossa, mas é um prédio mesmo. Será que é do tamanho certo? Duvido um pouco, né?
If there's anything you need, please let me know.
Não, acho que só recriaram mesmo a parte de fora. Deixa eu ver se eu já fiz as coisas da missão. Não é... É aqui? Ah, não. Não tem que usar 20 pratos. Aproveitar que eu tô aqui, então. Acho que não tem aqui. Olha legal que criaram uma paisagem na janela. Essa daqui, né, a região, a parte dos fatui. Vamos ver como é que vai ser. Ah, não deu certo.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit.
Você pode passar um recado?
Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued.
Eu sei que essa pessoa vai querer me
Might I
ver.
ask who you're hoping to visit?
O mensageiro Charles de Tartaglia.
Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time asking when I already know what the answer's gonna be. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If child is unavailable, you'll have to go through the proper procedure. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point waiting any longer.
Acho que escolheram uma
Even if you
ruim.
two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended periods. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll
Sandra,
take care of our guest here. It's her first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that she doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
esse cavaleiro foi muito receptivo. Fica aparecido nada.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon?
Ah, tá
Under the
seco.
weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need.
Ela já foi examinada, disse que não. Ela disse que não é nada sério.
All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and
Você
come
viu
to
que era
see
eu,
that
né?
well, I felt our time working together in Nod Cry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by, on the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class. Unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of tea, your treat. Of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That...
É. Pronto, conseguiu o que eu queria. Aqui, né? Tem o teleporte lá. Aproveitar que eu tô aqui perto. São as novas armas. Pronto.
I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste.
Sem problemas.
Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vecha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vecha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liu-S situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui.
Faz sentido.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry.
Que situação é
His
jogo
best course of
político.
action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time.
É de boa mesmo tá com tudo isso?
What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya Gacha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken. Having a voice in a Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
Isso explica muita coisa.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved. And the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me?
O que te faz
I
perguntar?
just don't understand, that's all. Anyway, do I really need a reason? Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Not Cry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart?
Eu queria garantir que não tava sendo
You...
desrespeitado.
Fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before. Fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlo-Lidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that?
Entendeu?
Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help.
Sim, obrigada.
Then
Vamos
let's go. You, take 2 people to Podvorier restaurant. Find her room and watch it like a hawk until we... If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Tá, acho que ela conheceu o Det agora, né? Show. Aqui tá a comida. Tá na parte... Ah, mais fácil vir daqui, né? Nossa, eu caí naquele momento. Está lá, preto no branco, não ferir famílias, não maltratar mulheres e crianças. Ou será que vocês... Parece que 2 grupos acabaram entrando em conflito. Mais uma vez, Vedslav. Vou dizer mais uma vez, não metam o nariz nisso. O patriarca também disse isso. Dívidas devem ser pagas sempre. Só me deem alguns dias, só mais alguns dias. Vocês já levaram o papai para a madeireira para quitar a dívida e a mamãe não consegue trabalhar por causa do ferimento. Agora só restaram eu e a vovó em casa. Eu não quis deixar de pagar. A vovó e eu estamos vendendo bonecos para ajudar a pagar a dívida. Logo, muito bem, conseguiríamos Conseguimos fazer 7 bonecos por dia. Só precisamos mais de 4. Não, 3. Por favor, 3 dias. E vamos conseguir pagar o que devemos este mês. Foi o que o último sujeito nos disse. Adivinha só, pegamos ele naquela mesma noite nos antros da jogatina dos clandestinos. Quem deve... Nunca deve... Mas foram vocês que vieram antes do prazo. Isso não parece um trabalho comum de cobrança de dívidas. Uma criança vilã. Se eu soubesse esse trabalho ia ser cansativo, eu teria trocado. Tem que começar essa missão, né? Por que não deixam isso comigo? Alguma regra que eu devo saber? Já vai arranjar briga já. Muito bem, você se move rápido. Sou Vzislav e Lukins. Acho que se pronuncia assim. Marfa. Eles são dos Ismalovs. Como eles são? Então eu estou famosa por essas bandas? Tentar pegar aquilo lá. Aí eu volto. Tem dois. Ixi, caiu aí, mãe. Voltando aqui. Ah, tá lá em cima. O mapa é grande, né? E depois pra cá sair sua parte é esses negócios. Pronto. Ah, eu tava aqui perto. Bom.
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction.
Vou
Yeah,
resgatá-los.
you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as...
Nossa, é um monte, né?
A reward on the road.
Ah, tem a mesma coisa do... Já é aqui mesmo.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now.
Eu vim pra ajudar no resgate.
Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnaya. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location. Let's go. Every second counts. Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent.
Ah,
Shadow
eu posso usar ela.
Stay back!
together. Pirouette. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Let's begin. Walk of the snowflakes. Ha! Ha! Witness the snow swan's grace. Together. Harida.
Pronto.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out. She and I will stay behind to watch the rear.
O caminho já foi limpo, né?
Thank you.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place... There's something unusual about it.
O que vai acontecer agora?
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! Thanks. Let's get out of here.
Era só um lugar pra pegar. Oi, tudo bem? Boa tarde. Quanto tempo? Eu tô continuando aqui a história do Genshin. Eu consegui, eu fiz semana passada e tô fazendo essa. Assim, tá indo um pouco melhor. Oh, aqui, ó, recebi arma. Olha, já é o suficiente pra evoluir a estátua. Desculpa demorar pra ver. É que não apareceu aqui eu não olhei pro lado. Aí eu... Tem um vídeo também que eu expliquei mais por que eu tô com esse modelo. Porque eu tinha conseguido ele. Aí... né? Pra usar, né? Ah, é pra fazer a missão. Ah, eu posso ficar um pouco aqui pra substituir. Pronto. É mais... Está mais frequente, mas é raro conseguir aparecer em live aqui, geralmente, quando estou indo. Ah, é totalmente é totalmente compreensível mesmo. Tem coisa pra fazer, né? Ah, eu também tenho, assim, coisas, então, assim, eu tento nos horários um pouco melhores, né? Se eu posso um pouco mais cedo, né? Não fazer de noite, ou fazer agora que é domingo. Aí ajuda, né? Pronto, ó, agora o viajante tá com a nova arma dele agora. Sabe, ponto estelar. Nossa, você não usa nenhum recurso. Ai, que bom! Espero que pelo menos esteja indo bem. Que esteja gostando das matérias. Por bem que o último semestre é loucura, hein? Deixa eu ir pro próximo ponto. Nossa, e o último mapa aqui, ó. Só pra atualizar. Já que você vai por fora de Genshin, né? Você mais de Honkai e os outros, né? Se bem que fazendo faculdade. Loucura. Aí. O mapa grande das neves. É grandinho esse mapa, gente. Tamanho da região inteira. Preciso fazer o abismo para ganhar recurso. Pronto, ativou a missão.
Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really helped your own today. I still don't know your name.
Meu nome é Ná, sou uma aventureira.
Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
A apresentação.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnaya. She's quite the celebrity.
O ideal
If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korailievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa.
Nossa, o ideal é manter o recorde.
Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking
Peraí
likely
que eu
she'll inherit the
eu não
title
consigo ler
of
duas
the
coisas ao mesmo
Fair
tempo.
Lady.
Aqui. O ideal é manter o recorde. Nos primeiros 2 semestres fui o melhor da turma, só não sei o terceiro. Isso é o objetivo, hein? Melhor da turma. Isso é bom, hein? Eu não tive esse... Claro, nota boa pra passar com certeza. Mas meu objetivo era só passar mesmo. Assim, porque a nota era alta quando eu fazia faculdade, né? Era alta. Então... Era recuperação muito fácil, né? Então... Mas... Manter os recordes que espero que eu consiga no terceiro quando divulgarem, então. E o quarto. Aí, deixa eu só ler que eu perdi a frase aqui anterior do negócio. A produção audiovisual. Então, tinha que fazer curtas, projetos, eventos, e além das provas ou trabalhos. Mas era bastante prático. Aí a nota para não ficar de recuperação era 8 de média. E era por soma de pontos. Durante, né? Não era média, era soma. Então, era assim, pra conseguir passar, era fácil e difícil. Tipo, se você fizesse tudo de acordo com o que mandam, é fácil. Mas se acontecer algum problema no meio do caminho, a produção deu errado, o evento deu errado, aí eu baixava a nota. Algum trabalho não deu muito certo. E eu entendo, assim. Aí eu comecei a fazer a pós. Eu comecei agora a pós. Então... Mas é mais levinha. De acordo, porque não tem TCC e o curso tá tranquilo até pelo que eu comecei. Então é. Mas espero que seja tranquilo. Terminar de ler aqui, além disso, né? Da hora, minha inscrição financeira. O meu tem que ficar com 7 pra passar. Acho que minha menor nota deve ter sido 8. Então... Ah, tá indo, nossa, muito bem, então. Tá conseguindo ser o primeiro. Espero que você consiga manter os... o ideal de recorde, né? Você falou. Título de... Ah...
She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette. If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
Eu sou envolvida diretamente no falecimento de... Envolvida, né? Não foi quem matou, mas... Não é surpresa que você seja uma lutadora, então...
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way.
Eu lembro que tu usava... Ah, eu mudei. Faz bastante tempo que eu mudei. Porque como eu tive que... Assim, contexto. Eu estou com... Você vê que eu acho que deve estar travando menos. Eu acho. Pra tá travando menos. Eu esqueço que eu tenho que olhar pra cá. Tá travando menos. Opa, o chat, não sei. O chat tá aqui do lado. Tá travando menos. Eu estou com um PC novo. E ele é pra ser forte. Aí, eu baixei tudo de novo. Só que eu percebi que por mais que eu goste de japonês e do chinês, eu entendo inglês. Então pra mim fica até mais fácil de... Às vezes eu tô ouvindo e eu estou conseguindo entender. Coisa que não acontece muito no chinês. Então como tem que baixar recurso a mais e o inglês não tá ruim, então eu fiquei, deve ter melhorado um pouco a média dos negócios. Então eu deixei em inglês mesmo. Não quis trocar. Mas esses motivos mesmo. Aqui... Mais ou menos, mais ou menos. PC novo com a configuração. E realmente não está travando. Então, eu acho que é um... Não, deixa eu falar certinho. É um Core Ultra 7 Plus. Um Ultra Core 7 Plus. Uma 5070 RTX, né? 32 de RAM. E é um armazenamento com 7.000 de velocidade. De leitura e de gravação 6.000. Então... E a memória é 6.000, 5.000 de leitura. Eu acho. É por aí. Não tô com tudo decorado aqui, mas é pra ser essas configurações. Agora tô com os 2 monitores. E então o jogo tá no monitor melhor e eu tô colocando vocês estão aqui do lado pra mim, no outro monitor. E o jogo está no máximo. Foi uma logística pra conseguir realmente, mas foi caro, mas administrável. Não precisou do rim, não. Né? Só não precisou do rim. Foi caro, mas eu economizei bastante pra dar uma ajudada, né? E eu consegui um jeito de pagar. Então aí deu certo. Mas... agora tá tudo bem. Agora o jogo tá no máximo. Tá no máximo? Tá no máximo. Não tudo, mas tá muita coisa no máximo. Não tá travando. E eu posso usar um modelo sem travar. E modelo que tem movimento aqui, eu tô pro outro lado, mas, né? É que mexe bem. Por mais que ele seja meio ruim pra pegar eu falando, eu tenho que abrir bastante a boca pra ali sincronizar, né? Senão, não ouve muito. Mas é isso. É bom que agora não trava. É. Foi um equilíbrio, né? É que como eu também queria fazer live e fazer multiuso com coisas de trabalho, como falam, né? Tipo Blender, aplicativo de desenho e outras coisas também de efeitos, eu imaginei que um multitarefa da Intel seria mais o meu perfil, já que eu não me preocupo necessariamente em deixar jogos no Ultra. Os mais pesados, não preciso de tanta coisa. Só coloquei porque Genshin não é tão pesado. Por média, né? Dos jogos pesados que tem, que são os AAA e essas coisas. E tá tranquilo por enquanto. Nem tá se esforçando o computador. Então, assim. Por isso que eu fiz esse equilíbrio. Que eu poderia pagar e. Né? E o que eu queria. Você acho que é mais focado pra jogo mesmo, né? Pra valer, se não me engano. Aí eu. Ah, sim. Ai, assim, pelo que eu sei, a minha é ok pra maior parte dos jogos jogar no outra. De boa. Pelo menos os testes que eu vi na internet né? Uma 50-70 normal. Então, assim. Como eu falei, eu não jogo tantos AAAs pra poder real pegar todo. E nem jogo jogos que precisam de tanto FPS. Então, me fez menos falta em tentar pegar uma super melhor. Não fazia sentido, é muito mais caro. É tipo quase inviável, mas mais caro do que isso. Gente, é muito caro. Tá muito caro. Foi a logística que deu. Ah, mas eu falo um pouco da CPU, por causa que essa em específico foi uma que foi reformulada para funcionar um pouco melhor com jogos. Então até que, né? E é mais fria, então ajuda. É um estilo mais frio, se não me engano. É porque fica silencioso e nem fica quente. Mas é bom ter uma coisa que não dá dor de cabeça e que você pode fazer o que você quiser no PC. É uma experiência muito legal. Só continuar aqui, deixar a missão passando.
All
Mas
right,
pode
now
responder.
that we're done
Pode
here,
falando.
it's time to get out of this blizzard.
Só isso? Não tem mais trabalho a fazer aqui?
Sure, but Snezhnaya will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes.
É, né? FIFA. Eu não sei quanto de recursos usa FIFA, mas acho que se você tá comparando, deve ser uma coisa que Genshin, né? Que não usa, né? Tipo, já um jogo que em si não é dos mais pesados, né? Já que você tá comparando também.
Yep, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
Eu esqueci de deixar no automático de novo. Peraí.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still,
FIFA é bem leve.
just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnaya. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for secondhand swords.
Voltando aqui pra parte. FIFA é bem leve. Eu não coloquei na tela, né? Depois eu me viro. Ah, já o Child aí.
Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real big shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How'd it go?
Nossa, é assim que se pronuncia esse nome.
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuja, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuja. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse her? What does she mean? Refuse to stand up for ordinary people.
Sandrone, sentindo-se pessoalmente ofendida pela pergunta. Tô abrindo uns packs de FIFA aqui. Aparentemente puxei uma carta com um valorzinho interessante. Que é de pack? É tipo... é tipo meio... Como que funciona? É mais uma questão assim de dinheiro real ou de dinheiro tipo gacha de Genshin? Assim, claro que tem como pagar de verdade, mas você entendeu? Acho que você entendeu a comparação. Eu não sei como funciona direito. Tive pouco contato com FIFA. Né? Pouco. Ah, é bom, né? Pelo nome do jogador. Acho que até eu sei quem é. Eu sou bem por fora de futebol.
Oh my gosh. How does she dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Esse é o choque down. Deixa eu tirar print dessa foto aqui, já que tá bem bonitinha, centralizada a Odette.
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where she's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital.
Não é? É.
I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasock myself. Things aren't going so swell there either.
Certo, então isso afeta por isso minha pergunta.
The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya. But she's thinking long term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuja seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know. But I promise it's not as black and white as it seems.
Vamos ver qual que vai ser a postura.
Maybe Snezhnaya and I can't oppose Project Stuja outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it.
Agora,
Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible.
Agora não sei se eu tento vender uma dona por um bom preço ou se eu evoluo ele para usar. Eu não sei como funciona, mas se serve no seu time, né? É pra fazer time, né? Você consegue deduzir qual que vai ser o valor pro time?
The issue is that there's no way of
do
pleasing
além,
everyone
assim,
under
como
the
que
present
funciona no
circumstances.
FIFA, eu não sei.
Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing...
In fairness to Snezhnaya, she rushed to Svietlolaidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Desculpe, se talvez minha pergunta.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards.
Porque no lugar dele eu tenho um Pelé. Considerando quão famosos são os dois novos, parece uma decisão difícil mesmo. Eu não sei, tem atributos? Os jogadores? E qual vale mais pra vender? Eu também não sei.
Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vecha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
Isso é porque a gente se conhece bem.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned her name so far, and no details of her experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosalie?
No, it's just... all right. I guess
Puxa,
there's no
também.
getting around it.
Vou manter o Pelé e vejo o valor do maratona. Se o valor do maratona aumenta. Ah. Espero que dê certo, seja bom negócio.
This is the world-renowned traveler who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazu. There was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
A partir... Calma aí, a partir de hoje a coisa vai ficar bem interessante. A paz acabou. Por quê? Uma negociação muito importante?
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but... death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Não, eleições. Esse período sempre é divertido. Eleições? Ah, por que divertido? Por causa do caos que fica?
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt the cold back then. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can...
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Muito obrigada.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind.
Exatamente.
So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia is right. I have things to do. Things I want to do, and things I ought to do. To start with, I should go ask Alosha if he knows of any way to help Svietla Ledovka.
Ah, é naquela região, né? Aqui por quê? Vai acontecer alguma coisa.
These swords seems to be vibrating of its own accord.
Digo hoje porque começa o período. Eu tava tão por fora. Vai ser um período louco.
It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven.
Deixa eu voltar a colocar aqui.
Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of cryo? And Kate! It worked! They're really...
Fortaleça sabre da ponte estelar. Ué. Vai ficar por dentro a partir dessa semana, então. É dia 4 de outubro, setembro inteiro é lição, basicamente. Tô vendo esse negócio desde o final do mês passado, início desse. Eu não tô acompanhando nada, não.
I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven.
Já vou até a loja, só vou aproveitar que eu tenho algumas estátuas desbloqueadas. Cadê? Aqui. Não tem história, não? Ah, tá. Aqui tá o texto. Peraí, vamos de Rockstar, por favor. Bota GTA Trilogy aí de promoção. Quero jogar San Andreas de novo. Você tá querendo promoção pra poder jogar GTA? Ou GTAs? Tem promoção da empresa da Rockstar? Eu não faço a mínima ideia. Na Steam, por acaso? Olha que eu olhei hoje. Eu nem parei, eu tava focado em abrir os aplicativos pra live. Tá aqui o texto. O viajante partiu para terras distantes, tudo por uma chance mínima de redenção. Não se sabe desde quando o viajante decidiu de capturar o sonho de silêncio interno. Se esse é o caso, então permita-me dizer algumas palavras. Aí eu posso já melhorar uma das estátuas. Ah, eu não sei o quanto isso é possível, eu não acompanho tanto como funcionam as promoções. As promoções dos jogos. Né? Eu vendo se eu pego a Odete. Eu nem tô no pitch tanto assim, né? Mas deixa eu aproveitar e pegar a outra estátua. Não, tem que... Em canto do universo deve ser fosse na esperança. Em algum canto do universo deve haver respostas e esperança. Quanto tempo se passou desde que alguém olhou para os seus estrados com tais pensamentos? Qual que é o nome dessa cidade? Merosó. Já até sei o que fazer. Fazer que a... chamando... Quando quer parar? Vai parar? Pronto. Mais rápido. Pegar logo o poder das... Dá pra até aproveitar a paisagem, deixa eu... Deixa eu... Ó, legal. Até que viajante treinando no Genshin tá... Não precisa ir tudo ir a pé. Eu, real, não faço ideia do que fazer agora. Domingo é bem inteligente. Ah, eu arranjei uma coisa pra fazer, a live. Tem um evento aqui também. Pronto, cheguei. Eu não quero fazer missão de novo. Ah, não quero. Tudo bem. Lele. Pelo menos eu já começo a missão, né? Como é? As pessoas continuam inventando as mesmas. Pronto, foi. Do nada eu vi arma de destruição. Ah, tá. Que tem um vídeo rolando aqui no fundo. Então. Não no fundo da live. O que tem com esse lugar que tem todas as missões? Eu só quero pegar o teleporte. Se vocês ouviram, tá um vídeo rolando aqui, então assim, se do nada saem vozes aqui. Peraí. Formal que é o. Depois vou ter que acompanhar aqui que essa missão no caso, o que tem esse arma de destruição vem de uma pregação sobre Mateus 24. Aí que vem o contexto do que saiu o som. Obrigada. Tem mais missão nessa região? De novo? Nossa, eu só queria, ó. Por favor, que não tenha mais missão no andar de cima. Ah, eu achei que era o outro lado. Ah, não, pro outro lado. Tem lado errado. Pronto, achei.
Is this an answer from this world?
Ah, é aqui que tem aquela região. Aí vai faltar mais algumas. Só falta um lugar. Não consegue, então vamos até lá. Não, acho que vai demorar muito a chegar até lá, né? Vai. Deixa eu ir pra missão, já tá com uma... Já deu certo. Deixa eu fazer o do viajante.
In the name of the princessing.
Tá, é aqui.
Hello there. How can I help?
Estou procurando a Gacha.
Ah, sure thing.
Tô aqui ao mesmo tempo em live, na live e em live de polícia. Realmente, muita tarefa, não consigo não.
Although Snezhnaya doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, What's the point in even calling it emergency relief?
Então é isso, eles só vão ter que esperar?
Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Chateau Morose will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Chateau Morose's energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. But there will always be people who urgently need Mora. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford.
Deixa que eu pago.
No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides, you're already providing the train.
Ah, entendi. Ah, não, eu não fiquei animada, não. Não sei se é a primeira vez que eu... Não. Acho que não. Mas não fiquei animada, não. Tudo bem, eu me voluntariei pra
Here's
isso.
your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take... Let's see. Huh?
O que o Deixa tá fazendo aqui?
Oh, Alosha, and...
Olá.
Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty so, what brings you here, Miss Odette?
Ignorando
Looking for some
a
new props?
situação.
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Sviatlo-Lidovka. It bothered me so much, I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Stuja is all about. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going.
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explain.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is Still, it's probably...
What's on your mind?
Só vejo por
I
momento.
think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a... I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Valeu por ajudar.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure.
Nossa, tá toda uma burocracia.
That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Oi, aqui. Live com 20. Nossa, sério mesmo? Bastante, né? Bem, fico feliz que estamos em boas mãos.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any
Fiquei
idea how Paimon's
cheio de
doing?
coisa pra fazer, mas agora vou voltar e ver como ela
What's
está.
wrong? Who's Paimon?
Her travel buddy hasn't been feeling
Nossa, é
well.
muito mesmo, né?
She caught
Nossa.
a cold right after they got to
28.
Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietlolaidovka. Plus, I know a little...
All right then.
É, nossa, ela...
I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished. A good sign, hopefully.
Vamos lá pra Paimon. Por favor, não ativar outra missão.
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room. Can I...
What happened?
Tudo bem, não precisa se preocupar.
Oh. Please, excuse me. Are you the Traveler? Could I take a quick look at your adventure?
Aqui. É muita coisa.
Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We're under strict orders from Master Child. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. That would only seem all the more suspicious and draw unwanted attention to this room. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes, of course.
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. We're not about to let anything go wrong. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Please.
Traveler! Alosha, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Ela é um membro do Fatui, mas é de boa, a gente pode confiar
You're a
nela.
friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point.
Como tá se sentindo?
Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. Seems like that doctor was right. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little...
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that... a flame inside an ice cube? Wait, is this real ice? How's it not...
All keen observations. You're right. This is called core ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! It's like magic. Your name was Odette, right? How did you two meet again?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet?
Não consegui nada dos mensageiros.
No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh?
Sabe como entre em contato com eles?
Let me think. Members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but I think there might be someone I can introduce you to. Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. Paimon wants to know everything that's happened today. It'll be kind of like tabletop troop. No reason why...
Voltas e voltas.
Coming up, what's the next step again? I could down 3 bottles of firewater. And then go out hunting.
Por que Fazer fez coisa de missão? Ah. Foi bastante coisa. Depois tem que ver o que é essa parte aqui. Aqui tá o evento.
Thank you for completing. Add Astro.
Faltam quantas da missão diária pra fazer? Falta um. Aí eu troco de novo.
Surely we've offended.
Aqui, né? Aqui. O que é aqui? Ah, é porque eu fiz essa parte. Pronto.
Ah, you made it. I've got some tickets, and I managed to set something up with the Rokot. It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? I doubt you've seen the Korolyevsky troupe on stage before.
Valeu por organizar tudo.
Pleasure. Here, this is the way.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations.
Is that guy with the fatui? Looks like he's waiting for something.
Okay, all done. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed through to the theater.
What's up? Everything okay?
Não esperava uma segurança tão pesada aqui.
Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that... Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace guard here. You saw him, right? He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here for one thing. To look for a guy named Mitya.
Mitya? Quem é esse?
Supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in at the office. The theater is one of his favorite places to hang out when he's playing hooky from work. But that's not for us to worry about.
Oh.
What do you think? Pretty impressive, huh?
Me lembra a ópera Épliquez.
Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like that.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa.
Ah, já vai ter cutscene, né? Ah, nossa, tem até um palco que faz efeito.
This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there. Hey there. Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now. Come in.
Oh, it's you two.
Não esperava ver você aqui.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner. Oh, I remember it so clearly.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought her here to see the show. And when it finished, she was full of praise for Vodyanitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you, and so do I. You did the right thing in Svietloladovka.
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door.
O que houve?
Confidentiality, of course. The Rokot is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha! Not out loud! Not with an outsider here!
Relax, I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The President's reply sent this morning. Wait, so she's been approved to join?
Eu tô aqui. Os dois já são, né? Dessa organização.
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokot. Unfortunately, Rokot intel is only available to members. But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. I've seen the way you work, your character, and your motives. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokot. So I figured I might as well cut to the chase. I wrote a letter to the President explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. His approval came very quickly. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Então isso significa que você e Vodyanitsa...
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, I guess we don't need to worry about you blowing our cover. Still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just
Não era
because
parte
Odette
de
was
sim,
here?
adorei você
Did you
cantando.
Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Like I said, the Rokot is a covert organization, and we hide our identities. Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of independence and secrecy. Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong, no one else will be implicated.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. We have plenty of members who have yet to take any action. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through. Even the most lackluster script makes for more
Tô
interesting.
dentro.
Great. Then I'll go grab an...
Já que vocês mantêm sua silêncio nas ilhas, como vocês se conhecem?
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. His name's Tagarin, and this one time, Alosha brought him backstage. Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit and fed him some treats. Then, the Rokot was out on a mission one day, and even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout. Like... my job at the theater, for instance. I really need it to make ends meet. By the way, what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go okay with Chugano?
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait. No matter what I said, he kept dodging the question. And then he started complaining. He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate seat in the stalls because he usually gets a private box. I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want a box seat, you buy a ticket well in advance. But instead, he sends me a letter the day before the show when we're practically sold out. I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would appreciate the gesture enough to share some information. But nope, he didn't give me anything.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person has definitely been a disappointing... Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chuganov was that older guy you were sitting next to today. I'm sure he didn't make a great first impression on you either.
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his right. He always expects special Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, now he's acting like I've sold him short this time. Not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife?
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form. Go.
Motivo.
Looks like I'll need to make a All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant, which pretty much confirmed that their energy consumption is way beyond the legal limit. All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vetcha, so we can demand that they
That way, the Kresny Crystal can be allocated to where it's needed most.
I was hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but he's too tight-lipped. We'll have to find another way. I'm meeting another regular theater goer tonight. Mitya.
A Lúcia também mencionou esse nome antes.
But Valeria's here too, and he's probably looking for Mitya. so he may end up being a no-show.
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri, or he wouldn't be showing up on time for every performance. Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence of the excessive energy consumption at the plant, we can accidentally let the information. The authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he starts raising questions about energy use at the Iskra manufacturing plant, also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. So all we need is his... yeah, so that's the other thing we're trying to figure out. Though I think we're far less likely to make... Still, I hear that Mitya is a bit of a chatterbox. So, who knows? Maybe if we catch him in the right mood...
What do you think? Sound like something worth your time?
Com certeza, vou dar pra
Okay,
escutar.
in that case, you guys find a seat somewhere nearby. Pretend you're a couple of buddies there to eat, and keep your ears peeled for... He's a huge fan, so I doubt he'll have his guard up around me. But you two need to be convincing. If he suspects anything at all, he might...
Sure. Don't worry. We'll make a
Tenho certeza
believable
que
pair
então
of buddies.
conversinha amigável.
Perfect! You've sold me already.
Okay.
Everything.
Por que o restaurante? Não entendi. Pra falar com o Paimon, pra... Entrar. Pronto.
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Let's sit here. Now, it's up to Vodyanitsa. Let's see how the conversation goes.
Mr. Mitya! Over here! Over here!
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even less time than we planned.
Nossa,
Go
o dele
ahead and
ficou
order
muito
some
bom
snacks and
mesmo.
drinks. Whatever you like. Let me see. According to my schedule, we still have 25 minutes left.
You're really pressed for time today, huh? I was imagining this would be a leisurely chat. If you'd prefer, we can always reschedule for another afternoon when you have more time.
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity for me. I'm not about to pass it up. I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance while it's here, who knows when the next one will come around?
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya is full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey and Paimon.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the theater.
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It always seems fresh and new somehow.
Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every performance, delivering it better each time.
Thank you! I'm delighted to hear that. Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. The piece you sang today, for example. Beneath the Frozen River? Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you really dig down into it, there's a certain level where you're surprised by the emergence of hope.
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Actually, I only tried out that angle after talking with a composer. Still, Beneath the Frozen River wasn't on today's program.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh, well then, let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so I switched it out at the last minute.
Oh, but,
Sorry, Mr. Mitya, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show started. You, Odette, and the others.
So what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song. Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my research. So, whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself, or the fact that I missed your performance.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance. This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's already falling apart.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. At least, it shows that our performance really touches people's hearts, right? Don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time today. I'm usually all ears.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion. I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No, sir.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of bad, though.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who only show up to the theater to pretend that they're cultured. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time they're walking out the door, they've forgotten all about the show. What's wrong? You look furious.
I don't you've heard about the boss of the Iskra manufacturing plant. He isn't even a theater
Ah, nossa,
investor.
que
But he
gancho.
always demands the same privileges as actual investors.
Ah, nossa, aqui não tá tanto calor não, mas que eu esteja só com um pouco. Eu não tô derretendo não. Deixa eu ver aqui, não sei.
Box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Well played, Vodyanitsa. Seems like she's harnessing her rage to steer the conversation back on track.
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone holds him up as an example of a benevolent businessman, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage. He's just there to flaunt his social status. I hate that I have to prepare programs for guys like that. What's the big deal with that factory he runs anyway? I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories. Sounds like he's just another greedy capitalist.
Oh, really?
Yep, the things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if that's not bad enough, he also strictly forbids his employees from giving any kind of interview. Project Stuja has now been extended so many times, we're at the point where crystal rations for the common folk are barely enough to survive on. Yet he even wants to get his greedy hands on them just to boost his own profits. If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too.
What? So it's really true?
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But there's no smoke without fire. The Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal. My coworkers in the Department of Energy have been tearing their hair out over it.
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. That's clearly unfair. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible.
Rapidinho, calma aí. Já volto. Voltei. Deixa eu tirar o texto. Mas eu achei ele, o Missão é um personagem bem legalzinho. Eu gostei dos detalhes dele. Ele tá com um modelo muito bom. Ele tem uma personalidade legal até agora, viu? Chamou bastante atenção. Deixa eu pegar. Continuar aqui.
I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanica. You really have a heart for the common person. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any significant upheaval. Isn't the rooster a Fae himself? I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja. What is the end goal of this project anyway?
This is it. We're finally going there.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since their conversation is so relaxed, he might just let something slip.
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research, things wouldn't have dragged on this long.
Oh, so your work
Nossa,
is related to
ele entregou muita
Project Stuja?
informação.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source. Not the power of the Light Realm and not elemental energy.
Ah, obrigada. É, eu consegui achar. Nossa, foi muita pesquisa, porque assim, né, sem condições de pagar. Então eu tentei pegar um que tava gratuito. Só falta colocar os créditos da pessoa, né? Mas eu achei esse gratuito, eu achei bom. Eu coloquei as cores que eu gosto mais, porque tem outras cores. Então eu gostei. Aí fica melhor até, porque além de ter mais movimento, acho que fica mais interessante. Se fosse branco e preto, ia ser mais legal. Pra ficar na estética antiga. Tanto que eu tenho que trocar a arte pra poder, pelo menos, não ficar com outra cara. Eu tenho que inventar uma logo pra pôr no lugar, porque aí eu posso mudar o modelo sem prejudicar muita coisa. Porque eu já não coloco na capa por esse, pra manter consistência. Bom, é que quando eu tô falando pro lado assim, fica um pouco pior. Mas ele se mexe bem. Deixa eu calibrar pra falar nisso, aproveitar. Pronto, tá mais calibrado agora. Vou continuar aqui. Mas tá interessante, eu gostei do Mitsa. Boas impressões até o momento. Ótimas impressões.
Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins.
Nossa, ele tá entregando muita informação. Ai, desculpa, ficou meio alto. Ele tá entregando muita informação. A não ser que ele esteja tudo com um propósito de deixar, tipo assim, ela... Tipo assim, agora você sabe, então agora eu tenho vantagem, porque se eu... Tipo, se usar essa informação pra alguma coisa, ele vai saber que foi ela que passou. Pode ser que isso aconteça. Ele tá falando muito. Eu preciso pôr no automático.
But harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires enormous amounts of Kresnik crystal, from extraction to quantification to attempts at conversion. Progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by. Sometimes, I see people staring into space as if in a trance.
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. Sorry, I can't talk about that. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder people are struggling to stay motivated.
Ele quase falou. Tome muralha de texto. Ah, tá. É muita frase, né? Ele falando tudo. Tudo que não deveria. Ele já falou que não deveria.
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at you for not paying attention during the show.
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my current position. At least I don't have to shoulder any major responsibilities.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm afraid I have to leave. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. Yeah, hopefully once the work pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the performance, and then we'll have more to discuss.
Já tirar print do Mid, só que eu não cheguei naquela parte que ele tava sendo enforcado pelo cachecol, que ia ser muito engraçado.
We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if you could keep it between us.
That could have gone worse.
Aconteceu bastante coisa, viu?
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry to leave, though?
Sorry, routine inspection.
Aquilo é o Valerie.
Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that Valerie would find him here in exactly 25 minutes. That's frighteningly accurate.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
Parece o arqui-inimigo do Mitya.
All right, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Did he deliberately mention the new energy source so that we'd overhear it? Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. I guess that's the next thing to look into. Vodyanitsa and Alosha have both left. Time to head back and call it a day.
É, já tá no restaurante mesmo, né? Pra ver a Paimon. Como você se sente?
Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature was completely back to normal. But her strength still hasn't returned.
Oi, tudo bem?
Still, there's some good news. Paimon thinks she might have figured out the source of the problem. It's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon.
Oi,
Paimon's never felt this way before during any of her travels.
Essa live. Eba, opa, tô aqui, né, acompanhando a 7.0. Não terminei ainda o ato 1. Eu queria terminar, porque só ficava o ato 2 pra fazer. Nossa, veio a conversa com o Mitsuda, foi muito legal. E ele percebeu o que tinha lá. Então quer dizer que ele de alguma forma quis passar as informações. Eu consegui aquele rastro dele, fiquei feliz, foi finalmente o rastro do Shao chegou. Uma das melhores notícias da live. Foi o rastro lá do do chão.
She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
Isso pode ser algum tipo de poder misterioso?
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Could that have something to do with this?
What is it? You're making that face again.
Deixa eu te contar que eu descobri muita coisa.
The one you get
Se
whenever you
quiser
have
dar
a
uma
light
olhadinha
bulb moment?
depois. Ah, não, tudo bem. Se quiser recomendar. Tranquilo. Dá uma olhada. Ainda bem que eu já acabei essa missão. Eu não terminei o ato 2, eu queria terminar o ato 2. Mas não vai dar tempo hoje. Deixa eu te contar o que descobri. Muita coisa.
So, they're trying to develop a new energy source here? And you think that might be why Paimon's feeling unwell?
É uma possibilidade. Aí minha Odete bateu 105k. Isso é bastante, né? Ah, tá tendo nome. Interessante. Deixa eu anotar. Deixa eu ver. Sangue. Deixa eu ver, tô pesquisando aqui. Pra já deixar anotado. Nossa. Ah, ele deslogou já se inscrevendo, tá? Nossa, que loucura. Ah, caiu o microfone. Eu vou usar todas as dicas pra fazer meu chá ficar... É que assim, depois que saiu alguns outros personagens muito bons, eu fiquei meio assim, é meu personagem, é um dos meus personagens favoritos. E tá lá o time dele, só que eu não tenho muitas opções. Para time. Depois eu vou pegar as dicas, já que o canal é totalmente dedicado ao Xiao. Eu vou ter que mudar minha capa pra não ficar parecida com o canal. Mas me inscrevi. Já tá anotadíssimo. Eu não tenho LC6 aparente assim, né? Pelo que eu tô vendo aqui, mas... Eu não sou tão bem assim. Eu acho que eu sou mais minha, assim, da personalidade, não exatamente da gameplay. Mas que eu investi no time. Eu gosto de outros personagens também, né? Que achei muito bons. Vilete, Návia, Sino, Tignari, são outros que também, né? Mas deixa eu ver.
Well, Media denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, he did say that people working on the project have been having issues with their concentration and short-term memory. And even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's.
Você consegue sentir de onde vem?
It's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But If anything, it seems like it's coming from roughly the same direction as the
Ela faz
Armory
sentido onde
Palace.
vem. Nossa.
Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The Rokat only has a limited amount of intel. Oh, great point! They argue about Project Stusha every day. If we could sit in on one of their sessions, we might get an idea. Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried this one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved...
Opa, botou errado. Oh, mas um detalhe muito legal, eu
Alosha
gostei que eles
replied.
colocaram um
He
cenário
says that we
aqui.
won't be able to speak at the Vetcha, but he can arrange for us to attend as visitors. Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnaya Vetcha.
You're back! Paimon's been working on the crossword puzzle in the newspaper. It's actually pretty fun. Oh, shoot! Paimon forgot the next word.
Meu time, acho que tá até errado. Eu deixei o time clássico do meu chão aqui. O time do Sino aqui são os meus personagens favoritos. Menos a Skirt, que ela caiu um pouco mais cedo. Flings, Renshin e Villette Shell aqui em primeiro. Eu nem sei se esse é o melhor time pra ele ainda. Só tô usando, né, a personagem principal, né, porque é legal. Mas... depois eu vou ter que investir bastante no time do Shell. Se descobrir qual que é o time que dá mais dano. Ah, dá pra descobrir naquele negócio no Miliastra, né? Que o pessoal usa agora. Já vi gente que faz negócio de dano testar lá. Deixa eu voltar com... Assim, porque eu não terminei de buildar ele. Alguém tá falando, ó. Ah, não, foi hoje. Ah, do outro lado. O que eu tenho pra tirar foto aqui? Ah. Pelo menos avisou. Ela já tá lá.
Ah, Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What is the...
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
Conseguimos entrar. Ah, vai ser parte do trailer, né? Os modelos estão
summary,
muito
the
certinhos.
energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For detailed statistics, I would refer you to the industry reports that have been distributed to all persons present. It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon associated with a remotely located monster. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Beth?
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then. Best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss, we will then proceed to a vote on this motion.
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably. But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we will soon face immense public backlash.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuja cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regrator struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support? The people have spoken! Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrator onto his back foot with a relentless
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue. So, surely their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation, which I believe is what Mr. Tartaglia also seeks. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuja is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning, and give clear indications that a distribution framework is improving with each iteration. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelex still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
Que envolvida.
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions. As for Lilik, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are... So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelek's methods? Are you for or against? Well, whatever the story is, his act...
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of Crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it. Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's...
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a
My apologies, Lord...
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate...
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Svietlolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine Crystal quotas? In the law...
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears...
Yeah, sounds good.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of
Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnaya Vecha.
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are no further contributions...
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against? Why now?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing...
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelik is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this.
Chuganov. I see.
Yes. Go, Lelik. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make our
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect, and we debate only for the greater glory and solidarity. The session...
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chuk. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it. As we heard, Project Stuja is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from somewhere. So logically, the factories would have to take the hit. I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vecha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuja. At least that way. But now, he's already voted against it. Which means someone must have used more forceful means to Yeah. No one knows why Lelik is so obsessed with ending Project Stuja, but by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lelik must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full... Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
Oh, right. What are your plans for the rest of...
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the
Ah, Odette must have introduced you.
I'll leave you to catch up.
Sure. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vecha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kids.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, it'll be doing Pulcinella a favor. In return, it seems fair to let her in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway,
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But neither the letters nor the crime scenes ever yield any clues to his identity.
Faltou pouco para terminar, mas eu vou encerrando por aqui e depois eu continuo a missão em live num outro momento. Muito obrigada por terem participado até agora. Eu vou ter que encerrar agora porque não vai dar tempo de terminar até o compromisso que eu tenho. Mas fiquem com Deus, dêem um gostei e comentem o que vocês acharam nos comentários depois que a live encerrar, viu? Mas muito obrigada mesmo por terem participado. Uma boa tarde, uma boa noite. E até uma próxima live. Espero não demorar tanto pra fazer a próxima, porque eu também quero saber o que vai acontecer.